Welcome back to another video on Gearsaw Studios, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a popcorn house, in case you ever wanted to live inside of a popcorn basket and every single item you own is covered in butter. Before I begin, remember, please like and subscribe, and without further ado, onto the tutorial. First off, for our palette, we're going to be using red and white concrete for the exterior, so I recommend getting a lot of that. Birch planks for the interior flooring, then for the popcorn itself on the roof, smooth sandstone combined with yellow concrete. Dark oak planks will be good for the furniture on the inside and to mesh well with the furniture, well, accents on the outside. Mangrove will be our preferred option, although crimson is an alternative. Then, get yourself a relatively flat area and build a square with an odd number of blocks. Essentially, if you can build a plus in the middle of it and both sides are equal, then you have a properly sized square. We got ourselves a rounded square here, and of course the edges are rounded, and there needs to be an odd number of blocks for each side, just to make sure we have nice even doors. Well, single doors. Might as well just punch out one side, and then you want to stack up all the way like this for about 5 blocks. Once your 5 blocks are done, then you go out like this and repeat the same process 1 block outward. Do this 2 to 3 times, well actually 3 to 4. Several layers have been stacked up, and our next step is to add some red concrete onto these layers. Starting like this, you can just line them up, going, well, up, and fill in the sections in between. As you do this, it's going to add a lot more color to the build, and I recommend having more than 4 stripes, perhaps going to the middle of each section and adding an extra thin stripe here, because if you do that, more variance and the more interesting. However, do not make your stripes 1 block thick, because that will just make too much color going on, and of course, that's probably not what we want. Now, color is in place, and we can see this thing is really starting to come together. Now, we need to smoothen out some of the pieces, kind of like this, making some go down. Other parts we want to go up a little, kind of like this. Either way, you just want to make it less cylindrical and more realistic looking. Then, on the top, you might want to add an extra layer for this. You want to surround the top layer with light gray concrete like this, because when you do that, it gives it that rim look from the tops of the popcorn baskets. And if you do that, it makes it look more professional. Sides are now smoothened out, and we got that nice rim at the top. And one alternate change you can make, you could replace the blocks down here with the light gray concrete. That part's optional, of course. But on top, we want to make an entire layer of smooth sandstone, because that's going to be the popcorn block. Although you could use endstone. For one, of course, that requires going to the end, and I know some of you might not want to do that. And two, smooth sandstone just kind of looks better. So, get yourself a ton of smooth sandstone. It's okay if it's hollow. And make some lumps on top of this, while making sure the entire layer is covered in the sandstone, as to not break the illusion. Now, we have a singular mound rather than several mounds of popcorn, and because it's made out of smooth sandstone, well, we can use smooth sandstone slabs, just like that. You can also use stairs, but that might just be too much work. You can just smooth out various things, bad puns, and, makes it look a little bit better. You can add more detail, and you want to also speckle in some pieces of yellow concrete, because it looks like butter, and everybody knows how buttery popcorn is. You just can't touch your phone for the rest of the day. That's the rule, you just can't. But either way, just place down more yellow concrete in order to make it look buttery. We got yellow concrete and sandstone on top, which means this resembles some popcorn. Although on its own it does not look like anything. With the basket, we can see that it's easily recognizable as popcorn. I also swapped my logo on it because, I just do whatever I want. But on the inside, we want to replace the ground with birch planks. We also might want to smoothen out the walls on the inside, as in making fake walls, but that's for a little bit later. Just make some birch on the inside. I've added a door, some birch flooring, and our next step will be dividing this place in half, which means just stacking up. If there's an even amount of blocks, choose the upper half. If there's an odd amount, then choose the odd block. And then you want to make the walls using mangrove if you want to make that home vibe. Of course, if you don't want an interior, then you're already done with the build. And you should probably remove the door for that matter, but anyways, you just make yourself some walls, you get rid of some of the concrete in here, and the ceiling could even be mangrove. Although, you could do what I have going on here, where I just keep the red design going with white stripes. I filled in the walls of this room, and we can see that I have lighting all around. Torches on the walls, in the middle, some places we can hang lanterns off of. Overall, it's a bright room, and it works really well. For the second floor, we want to make the walls out of barrels, or it should have some chest. It depends on whether you want convenience or not lag, and either one works. Still, just place down barrels or chests on the walls here. Now, the upper floor is all decked out. We got some unique pattern on the ceiling, a ton of lighting, and a unique carpet that involves using wool on the inner parts in order to allow us to place things here, such as shulker boxes, instead of having them awkwardly floating above. If we go all the way down here, you can see it has everything you need to survive. Some music, spiral staircase which you can tunnel downwards into some mines with. You could even fall down the middle, water at the bottom, efficient mine, and just anything you'd ever need. Also, some small change on the outside. We can see that there's a little bit more popcorn kernels just protruding, more lumps. I thought one giant lump would work good, but I think I liked this design more, because you can see it's more like the messy pouring of popcorn rather than some neat pile such as like a sand dune. But otherwise, it's looking really nice. With shaders on, this thing looks beautiful. Although it's a very simple popcorn basket, of course a low poly logo of mine plastered on. Still, it looks really nice. If you ever have a giant movie theater, swap this on the building, even if you don't have much room. Still, you could try adding a smaller version, or you can just use it for whatever. It even functions as a house, considering the large interior space, and it being rather secure, and it's very unlikely to get lost, considering it's very bright. If you're wondering about what kind of build you should do next in survival, I recommend trying this out. It's a unique build, and of course, it has quite a few benefits to it. And with that, it's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, remember, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And huge thanks to Unistream. Please tell me I'm pronouncing your name right, for letting me use a design for this. Because I saw theirs on Reddit, asked if I could use it. They said yes, so I have linked them in the description below. They've built a modded one, and it's really cool looking, using modded blocks. I don't use those in my videos, but of course, if you like having vertical slabs, I strongly recommend you try that tutorial, because it will certainly be better if you use modded blocks, of course, if you even use those. Either way, enjoy the rest of your day. Gearsaw out.